When you went to AEW, we picked up, you told Vince you were leaving, you go to AEW. You were there during the 83 weeks with WWE against WCW. Now you're in AEW and they're running against WWE on a Wednesday night. How did you find out the news that WWE were going to be doing NXT against AEW? And what were your thoughts when you found out that you were going to be kind of on the opposite side that you'd been on before?
It's a job. I'm not leaving my religion. I'm not leaving my family. It's a job. Still in the business I love. And I get to play every week. Again, I can't go back and create new time for JR. JR's got to do things now. And I want to enjoy every freaking minute of it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're having a blast. So I don't buy into the Wednesday night wars. I think it's very uncreative. I think it's a repeat of the Attitude Era, WCW, 83 weeks. Conrad's made a lot of money off 83 weeks. And Eric, good for them. They kicked our ass 83 weeks, but at the end of the day, they went belly up. So something didn't work out for somebody. But I don't look at it that way. I don't look at this as a war. I have a job. Just like a lot of you, have a job. And I love my job. And I know I can't do it for a lot longer. But I'm going to do it by God as long as I can. And I know I get nailed by people that say, well, JR mispronounced this guy's name, or I do that all the time. I used to do it all the time with Edge and Christian and Hardys. Tell me, and I signed them all. I know them. They're not strangers. I signed them all. But sometimes, man, you get that little thought in your head. You can't. It's like this last week I called Scorpio Sky Two Coast Scorpio. I did. And here's that day, we're talking about how he got his name. He got his name from Two Coast Scorpio. So now I got that new wealth of information. I bounce out there to live TV with no net, and I Two Coast Scorpio Sky. Shame on my ass. I should be exiled, right? So anyway, that's kind of what you deal with. But I'm going to keep doing it, man, until you guys tell me, JR guy, you kind of maybe you ought to get that hot tag and get the hell out of here. But right now, I'm not ready to take the tag. I want to play some more. Thank you.
Is there an element of working on Wednesday nights and there is competition on the same night? Is there an element that you think drives AEW in that regard, or do you guys not think about the other one and just concentrate on your own thing?
I can't speak for everybody in AEW. I can speak for myself and how I represent my mindset to the younger talents. Here's the thing. The show airs on Wednesday night in the States. The all-important ratings come out on Thursday afternoon. And whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, the world of television revolves around numbers. You get canceled because you have bad numbers. You have bad ratings. Very seldom have you heard of a show that was really getting great ratings, but was get canceled. So that means that the numbers supersede the art. Numbers, eyeballs, watching my TV when this program is on. That's marketing of television. So, I don't know. I'm lost my way on that thing. I just think that we just gotta keep plugging away for what we do, because those ratings come out on Thursday. Guess what? Somebody better be writing TV for next week already, and they are. So how long? When do you celebrate? Thursday afternoon? Thursday at dinner? Because Friday, you better get your ass back to writing television, because we're going to do a production meeting on Tuesday, and we're going to go live on Wednesday. So you can't really get too low on the bad ones and can't get too high on the good ones, because there's no time to react or process it. Boom, get it, move on. If I had to talk guys essentially off the ledge emotionally, when talents who are, again, insecure and paranoid couldn't understand why we're getting our ass beat 83 weeks in a row, looking for someone to blame, maybe you should look in the mirror. Are you doing everything you can do to be a better in-ring talent? Have you changed in 10 years? Is your same sequence going to your finish the same as it's always been? And that kind of deal. Have you changed your gear? Have you got a new finish hold? What have you done to update your game? Because you can't say, well, they held him back. You heard me on the podcast. Well, I get pissed at this deal now. Well, I had a talent, a very famous talent, who's in the Hall of Fame to me one time, that I said, hey, look, we brought him back, paid him a lot of money. His work was mediocre at best. The heart wasn't in it. Looked great, all that stuff. And he said, well, when I get my push, you'll see my best. How's that? It's like, you guys hire somebody. Look, when you pay me more money, I'll actually do my job. What if you told your boss that? Hey, I noticed you're slacking, you're late, you're doing this. Yeah, I know. When you pay me more, I'll come to work on time. That's not a very good negotiating chip, guys. So I look at that push stuff, and we love our talents, and then when we empathize with them. But let's all understand this. Sometimes our favorites can break our hearts too. And sometimes they can't get away from being paranoid and worried about the shadow that lurks over their shoulder. Father Time and opportunity. And you can do something about that in your personal life, in your business life, and the rest of us sure as hell can. It's not always the office. And the rest of us have a chance to say stuff on creative. Don't believe well, they don't get to say much in WWE. They say all they want in WWE, but you got to be willing to sell your idea. And you got to appease all the goddamn writers. We don't have any writers at AEW. The first promo that Santana, Ortiz and Santana did, maybe in his life on national television, I think it probably was this past week. And he killed it. He wrote it. It came from his heart. It wasn't some snotty-nosed, pimply-faced little goop. Come on, here's your script. So, and that allows them to grow as talents and allows you to see who they are. You think people wrote Austin's promos back in the Attitude Era? God, he'd kill them. He would. When Stone Cold inducted me into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007, here's the ring. And thank you. And people say, well, now you're the AEW. Why do you wear the WWE ring? I earned the son of a bitch. Why wouldn't I wear it? Why wouldn't I wear it? Maybe it gives AEW a little bit of credibility. He's got one of those rings now. How many of these guys on this show have one? Well, he'll get one someday. But anyway, Austin wrote it. He came to the Hall of Fame, and they said, we want to look at your speech at inducting JR. And man, I thought he was going to tear somebody's ass up. Not happy. And so they said, well, do you have bullet points? He still has a red ass. So bottom line, of course, they have to run to Vince because they get in front of Vince. Everybody wants FaceTime. Any owner in wrestling has to always be aware of how many of his people disingenuously want to have FaceTime. They can't, especially in his world, because he is the guy. Whether how about this guy, how about this son-in-law, and how about that? No. There's one guy. There's one guy, and he's more one-dimensional in that regard than Tony Khan is. Tony's got people around him that he listens to a lot, and he learns as he goes. But people love that attention. So that's the deal with Vince, is that he's an interesting cat, man. This book, the new book, has got a lot of good stuff in it about him, a lot of quotes. We had some really emotional text messaging. He told me he loved me, how much I helped build the company, and he couldn't have done it without me. And then we talked, we were kidding, he was laughing about, you're leaving and all that, I hope you do great. He says to me, by the way, just putting up two friends. How's he going to, what's the pay going to, ballpark pay? So I told him ballpark number, truth. He said, oh, goddamn, I can't pay that. I said, well, there's where you're wrong, Chief. You can't pay that. You can't pay that. You're paying women wrestlers and male wrestlers work part-time a lot more than that. That's embarrassing. And you got preliminary guys that are only booked on TV making $500,000 a year each. That's great. Oh, that's so good. They're making all this money and they're not going to go on the road. Their bodies are going to be healthy and they're going to be so happy. They got in the wrestling business to do what? Wrestle, perform. And they can't go back and get that time back. Father Time don't do no jobs. And he never done them, and he's not going to do them again. So, but this book tells more about my stuff with Vince, but it was never a hate thing. There were days I hated him, but there were a lot more days I loved him. And I'm on the love side right now because that's how I choose to live my life. I don't have no room in my goddamn carry-on for any more negatives in my life.